Hi, anyone and everyone. This is Kim, the Humble Hermit from Come As You Are Oracle. I am going to do the Tarot Collective, the Tarot Collective for today. It is Saturday, May 2nd, 2026. You may follow me on the Talk the Tube, my blog, or not. Totally up to you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it doesn't fit, don't make it fit. If some of it fits, God's kiss. We love that for you. Whatever doesn't, leave it on the table for someone else. You don't need to take on energy that wasn't meant for you. I told you I was going to use this all weekend, and I meant it. Intuitive Almanac by Rob Barthelman. You can find this at intuitiveintention.com. His Etsy shop, My Intuitive Intention. I have the link in my link tree if you're interested. I don't get commission. I don't give free decks. I just love his decks. So if you're interested, you can go to my link tree. The link is towards the bottom. Not all the way at the bottom, but towards the bottom. And it is labeled. It should say Rob Barthelman on there. You can just click it. Just click it. There's one for Hattie Thorne and there's one for Crystal Banner. And I said I wasn't going to do readings tomorrow because I'm working. But I might do a tarot collective and use this deck because I said all weekend. So I should stick to my word, right? We'll see. I might do it early though. Like I might do a morning read. Ooh, that's my kind of card. We got 2 on the table, 1 major. Someone's grieving something. Someone's very emotional. You guys know I talk all, if you follow, if you subscribe, you guys know I talk all the time about how I cry. I cry all the time about every little thing. And I don't care because when I was a kid, when I was a young adult, I was told to shut up and stop it and hold it in and don't be a crybaby. I think a lot of people, when they were kids in the 80s, were told that, right? So now as an adult, as a healing adult, I let that out. And I don't care. I don't care if somebody sees me cry. I don't care. If I need to let it out, I'm going to let it out because what is it Shrek said? Better out than within. I mean, he was talking about gas, but same difference. Same thing with emotion, with grief. Better out than within. So I got one nostril that feels funny. Like there's something in there or something. I don't know. 3 on the table. 3 on the table. 2 major. Yeah, look at this. It all goes together. Oh, okay. There's 4 on the table. This one is in the reverse. Interesting. We got 4 on the table, 2 major, and 1 card in reverse. We're going to do 2 more shuffles. 2 more shuffles. It's 5 o'clock here, a little after 5 o'clock, and last shuffle. For some reason, I keep thinking it's like after 6. I don't know why. That's it. All we're going to have is... Oh, I love that card. Look at how cute that is. It's really warm. All right. So we have 5 cards with bottom of the deck. Let me show you what we got. We've got the Hermit. These are beautiful cards, by the way. We got Ace of Winter. And again, just as a reminder, this is a seasons deck. So winter, spring, autumn, summer. We've got Death. We got 7 of Spring in the reverse. Let me show you what it looks like. It's like a chessboard. And then at bottom of the deck, we've got 8 of Spring. Feminine, masculine, take how it resonates. It doesn't matter. It's like somebody's grieving, mourning the loss of something. With the Ace of Winter, this person's very emotional. The thing is with the Death card, like this is a release, right? It's a release. And what is it? Release and catch? Catch and release? There was a movie with oh God, what was her name? Now I can't remember her name. She was married to Ben Affleck. She was an Alias. Why can't I remember her name? She's not at all my favorite actor, and I think probably one of the best things that she was in was Alias, honestly. I can't remember her name. But her boyfriend dies, fiance dies, whatever the case, and they have his funeral, and she's there with all of his male friends, and it's kind of like the aftermath. Like what happens, what they find out about him and stuff after he passes away. It's called Catch and Release. It has Timothy Oliphant in it, and it has I can't remember his freaking name either, from Silent Bob, Jay and Silent Bob. What's his name? Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith. Yeah, Kevin Smith, Timothy Oliphant, Jennifer Garner. That's her name, Jennifer Garner. And then there's one other. I think there's one other guy that was the friend. I can't remember what his name is. And it has is her name Jennifer Lewis? Her last name is Lewis, I think. It's not Jennifer. Is it Jennifer? Julia Lewis? Julia. She was she played in the movie The Other Sister. She was supposed to be a girl with Down syndrome that fell in love with another guy with Down syndrome, I think. And then they get married. And I think Diane Keaton was the mom, and she was worried about them getting married. Was it Diane Keaton that was the mom? I think so. She was in a movie where they were like, she was with the guy, they were boyfriend, girlfriend, but they were like serial killers or something. Can't remember. She's in a lot of stuff. A lot of girly movies. I want to say it's Julia Lewis. Red hair. I think she has natural red hair, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to think of what else she was in. There's like a movie with her in it that I used to watch all the time, and for some reason I can't think of it. Catch and release. Anyway, somebody's releasing, screaming, mourning. This is going to bring in transformation, growth, right? Insight, enlightenment. When the 7 of Spring came out, it came out in the reverse. When it came out in the reverse, it just gave me a sense of somebody feeling like they have no direction. Like even though what they're doing is natural, right? And it's good for them in the long run, even if it doesn't feel like it. Like whoever this is, they feel like they have no direction, like they're not going on the right path. This might be like I mentioned type A personality earlier in another reading. This might be someone with a type A personality, because it's giving with the Eight of Springs. It's like somebody feeling like they're not moving fast enough, they're not healing fast enough. Like, why is this taking so long? What is my problem? Kind of like a self-deprecating feeling about oneself. And again, when you're healing, when you're mourning a loss, when you're grieving, this is something that is not time stamped. I don't care what anybody says, I don't care what anybody else thinks. It is not something to timestamp. You grieve, you mourn for however long that takes. Sometimes we grieve and mourn and we think we're quote unquote healed of a situation, and then, a year, 10 years later, you're grieving over it again. That's why we always say healing is never ending. Healing is from birth to death, because you never stop healing, and you could heal from something and then be healing from it again. So why I say there's really no such word as healed, but healing, because it never ends. And I would hope, okay, if this resonates for you, I would hope that you would realize there's no sorry, I'm not laughing to make anybody feel bad. There is no proper way to grieve or mourn. Everybody has a different way of going about it, and that's fine. The only improper way, I would say, is if you're hurting yourself or someone else. Other than that, there's no improper way. Like, however you grieve or mourn is the way you grieve or mourn. And however long it takes is however long it takes. It doesn't matter. It's just like anything else in this life, you know. And I'll just use me as an example. You guys know I wrote my book last year. I put off editing it because I was taking classes at the end of the year, beginning of this year. So now I'm finishing up the edits for my book, the self edits, I should say. And then eventually I want to pay somebody to edit it. And then I want to self publish. I put this off probably like 6 to 9 months more than I expected. Does that really matter in the long run? Like, I'm still going to accomplish what I wanted to accomplish. I'm still going to do what I wanted to do. I'll get there. It's not a big deal. Same thing with grieving and loss. You can't tell yourself like, "Oh, I'll be done with this in 5 weeks. I'll be done with this in 5 months." You might not be done with this for 5 years. There's no reason to get upset about the time. Everything in divine timing, everything happens the way it's supposed to happen. You guys know I don't believe in coincidences. I don't believe in chance. Everything is destined, everything is fated. Everything was already written in the stars before you were born. And there's your life. Someone might have felt, if this is like a death of a family member, a friend, something like that, like a close person, someone might have felt a connection to this person and still might feel this connection after the passing, after the loss. That's normal. I find that kind of energy comforting. Some other people might not. Take how it resonates for you. I've grown up around, how do I say this? I've grown up around energies that passed, but they're not past, they're still there. I've grown up around energies like entities, paranormal, alien, demonic. I've seen all kinds of things in my almost 46 years, so nothing phases me. If you follow, if you subscribe, you know that January of 2025, I bought a cabinet from the Volo Antique Shops in Volo, Illinois. I brought that thing home, and that first night, I could hear a woman crying in my living room. I'm the only one that lives here. The cats heard it. We were all on the bed watching TV, or I think we were watching a reading, actually. And all of a sudden, you could hear crying from the living room. And I thought maybe, I thought maybe like I was awake dreaming, or you know what I mean? Like just like hearing things in my mind, like seeing something, but it wasn't there. But when I looked on the bed, all the cats were staring at the door. Like, we all heard it. And it was funny because I got up out of bed and I turned on the bedroom light. And then I went into the hall and turned on the hall light. And then I went into the living room and I turned on the living room light. And the cabinet's fine. It's sitting there. Drawer's not open. Door's not open. It's fine. I think I left her empty. Like, she didn't have anything on her, in her. I had cleaned her up and everything, like dusted her and kind of wet wiped her down and inside the drawer and the cabinet and all that. And I just went up to the cabinet and I said, "You're safe here." I said, "I will love you as if you are my own." I said, "You're welcome to stay as long as you want." I said, "Please just don't hurt my cats." And I patted her and I blew her a little kiss. And then I turned off all the lights and I went back to the bed. I did leave. There was a little nightlight plugged in underneath my armoire cabinet, kind of like in the living room, but it's the end of the hallway. And I went back to watching the show. The cats were watching the show. And then all of a sudden, I looked down and the cats were looking at the doorway. And when I looked at the doorway, there was a shadow in the hall of someone in the hall. And it looked like a feminine figure with a long dress on. Kind of Victorian looking would be my guess. Again, it was just a shadow, but she was there. I think she's still here. I just don't think I really hear anything because she feels okay, would be my assumption. Or maybe she comes and goes because I feel like sometimes I know she's there and sometimes she's not. But those kind of energies don't really bother me. Like, I've grown up around that kind of stuff my whole life. Like, I've had, experiences with that when I was a kid, when I was a teenager. So, I know it can be like a little unnerving if you've never had an experience. You get used to it. I think for whoever this is, though, it's more of like a feeling, like not necessarily seeing or hearing anything like in reality, but it's like a feeling of being watched, a feeling of like sitting watching TV, and all of a sudden you feel like a wave of love wash over you, like your loved one loves you, they're watching you, you know what I mean, they're protecting you, that kind of thing. Interesting. Well, I think I'm going to leave it there because I don't want to ramble on too long about it, because I'll just go over the same thing over and over and over again. Um, I hope it doesn't resonate for you, but I know it will for somebody. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you were entertained. I hope everybody has a fabulous evening, a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I will talk to you later. Bye.